Have you ever felt like Pinterest is teasing you with like thousands of impressions, but there's like no clicks to show for it? Well, you're not crazy. And remember, it happens to all of us pretty much all the time. But today, I am breaking down exactly why this happens and how to turn all that scrolling into real clicks to your website. So, hey, welcome back to the Pin and Plan podcast. I'm Lisa, your Pinterest pioneer. I'm a bit of a Squarespace nerd, admittedly, and founder of the Simple Site Lab and Body Mind Mood. Now, if you cleaned up your boards last week, first of all, high five, because seriously, I understand how much of a job that can be. But if you're ready to move on to step two, turning all that new reach that you got from cleaning up your boards into actual clicks, well, stick around, because having thousands of people see your pins is cute, right? But if they don't visit your site, then really, I think all of us have to ask, what's the point, right? So today I'm giving you real sort of no fluff tweaks that you can make to your pins so they actually get clicked, not just scrolled past. So before we jump into the click boosting goodness that I've got here planned for today's show, let's check out last week's poll, because you were all there and you were so honest, and really it's the perfect setup for today's topic. So last week I asked, how many Pinterest boards do you really have? And your answers truly gave me life. Like, really, they did. Because honestly, it was for everyone, I think, all over the place. It wasn't really one specific thing. So there was a small but mighty group of you who said that you have less than 10 boards. Okay. There were some of you, right, that are listening who have approximately 10 to 20 boards. And there was also a large group of you that had 20 to 50 boards, which is fair. That's usually what I see when I'm scrolling, when I'm looking around on Pinterest. And then I do see you guys, the overachievers that are listening, that have 50 plus boards. Now, to be fair, there were a few of you who said, hey, I have no clue. And I'm just going to say that's okay, because you're fixing it now, so it's perfectly fine. If you're feeling good about your tidy SEO'd boards, right, then this is the next big domino. So making sure your pins actually convert that visibility into real traffic, right, to your website or your store, or right to your profile, right? You want the traffic. So let's break down why high impressions but low clicks happen, so you can sort of spot it when it's happening to you and figure out how to fix it. Okay. So here's the thing that nobody actually tells you, like even in the PBC, nobody tells you. Pinterest loves to show fresh, relevant pins. But if your pin design, headline, or promise, right, that you make on your pin doesn't catch someone's eye, they'll just keep scrolling past it. Okay. So it's kind of like, think of it like window shopping. Just because people see your storefront on the street doesn't mean that they're going to walk inside. And that's fair. Okay. So I'm going to share some top reasons that pins get lots of impressions but get like 0 clicks, right? Because I see a lot of people who say, well, I've got all these impressions, but nobody's clicking. All right. So let's do this. Bland or generic headlines with no clear value. That's a big red X right there. Okay. Pins that look cluttered, or text is too small to read on mobile. So cluttered, think like too many moving emojis or icons. Maybe the text is really, really tiny, and they can't read it because they are on mobile, right? The image doesn't match the promise. So what people are really feeling is that it's kind of clickbaity, or maybe it's just not clear what you're trying to share or do, right? And then lastly, there's no clear call to action. Now, I've talked about this a number of times. Pinterest users, that they need that gentle nudge to go and do something. And it's okay to tell them. I mean, obviously in a nice way, right? But it is okay to go and tell them to go see my site, go read the rest of my blog post, go get your free template or your free checklist, right? Remember that impressions are really good on Pinterest. They are. But clicks are gold, right? Because if people are clicking, then you've done your job as a pinner, right? And you technically need both. So bear that in mind. Now, okay, so what's working against you, right? But let's fix it with some clear tweaks, and they are just tweaks that you can actually make to your next pin. Okay? So if you're ready to turn browsers, like those people that just browse around Pinterest, into actual clickers, then here's what actually works. Now I've got a small list here. It's not a numbered list. I will share this out in the show notes for you so you can have a look at it at your leisure. So write a headline that actually solves a problem or sparks some curiosity, right? So I'm going to give you an example. If you were to see a pin that said easy vegan meals, what does that tell you? It's sort of, it's okay, right? But you might keep scrolling. You wouldn't necessarily click on it. But if you were to write a headline that said 7 lazy girl vegan meals in 20 minutes or less, then that is click worthy. Okay? People will stop and they will click. Why? Probably because lazy, if I'm being honest, 20 minutes or less, right? And then, of course, vegan meals, right? Now, consider using bold, readable text on your pins. Most people are on their phones. Tiny script doesn't always cut it for people, right? Now, I understand that, graphic designers, website designers sometimes use very small script or text in order to, it's more of a aesthetic feel, and I get that. But for most of us, tiny script really isn't going to cut it. Like if I did a fitness pin, for example, on Body, Mind, Mood, and I had this little tiny script about why they should click on this pin and do this workout, it probably wouldn't go very well just because they can't read it. And that's fair. Keep your design clean and on brand. Now, busy designs really, truly overwhelm people. When there's too much going on, there's too much to read, and remember, they're on a mobile phone, people tend to shut down. Consider doing one main image, clear text, your logo or your URL, and that's it done. Okay? So try not to put so much on one place. Now, if your pin says something like, free checklist, or the image should show the checklist, it should give a peek at what they'll get. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about making your image match the promise. Make your image match the promise. Your pin says free checklist, give them a free checklist, right? The image should show the checklist or give a peek at what they'll get if they click on the pin and go to your website or go to your store or go right wherever you've got that link to, right? Lastly, always add a call to action. Now, I've talked about this before. Again, I talked about it just a few minutes ago. Tell people what to do. Read more, get the guide, pin for later. It all works. Now, I will share in the notes a PBC link to a PBC post that I did where I shared 10 CTAs that you can use. Okay? It's a really free list, really easy list, but they work. Now, if you want a quick gut check to know if your pins are actually on the right track, here's my favorite trick. This is something that I put together for myself because I often had the same questions, like, how do I know? I've designed this pin, made the description, done all this work. How do I know? Well, try this. For me, it's been a bit of a game changer, and I call it the 3-second pin test. Okay? So you're going to do all of this in 3 seconds. When you finish a pin design, look at it on your phone and ask in 3 seconds, can I tell exactly what this pin is about? Do I know what I'll get if I click? Is the text easy to read, even when I'm squinting at it in its small, right, on mobile? Those are the 3 questions you need to ask. And again, I'm going to share this down in the show notes so that you can do it at your leisure. Keep it in a note on your computer or something. Now, tweak it, right? If you're coming up with no's on one or all of those questions, then keep tweaking it until the answer is yes for all 3 questions. Because remember, your audience is scrolling fast. You get 3 seconds to win them over, basically. So use those 3 seconds wisely, right? Okay, so there it is. And all right, let me dig in. I'm going to just move on here. Let's dig into this week's real life question from inside the Pinterest business community, because this one truly is so relatable. And of course, this is my favorite part, one of my favorite parts of the show. So this week's question comes from Devin, who asked, my pins look good, but people save them instead of clicking. what gives? Well, it's a great cue because this is super common, right? Saving is great, but clicks are better. Okay? That's the short answer. Here's the deal. If people save but don't click, what it generally means is that a pin is like inspirational but not actionable. Okay? So it might look pretty, but it doesn't have that sort of headline, that grabby headline or call to action that says go do something now, right? Now, in order to fix this, you have to consider pairing like inspirational pins with a really, really, really clear next step. And I'm not talking about bolded text, I'm talking about an actual step. So, for example, if you created a mood board and called it Mood Board Inspo, what you could do to encourage people to click is write something like steal this mood board and get the free template so that they can create their own mood board inspo. Okay. Outfit ideas. This is my next example. You could say something like shop the look, full outfit links inside, right? So they're going to click, they're going to see that they have to go to your website or go somewhere. They're going to do that. Okay. So these are like the tiny tweaks that I was talking about, but they change your click through rate on your pins pretty much, in my opinion. Like for me, it was pretty much overnight. Okay, now fair enough, I'm in fitness and fitness is a popular thing, but it pretty much changed the click through rate overnight. Now, are you ready for your takeaway tip? Because again, this is another favorite part of my show. I love this part. This one that I'm sharing out this week will absolutely get you unstuck next time you're designing. Okay, so here's the pin and plan tip of the week. So you're going to create one pin, but you're going to test 3 headlines on that same pin. So next time you make a pin, don't stop at one title. Write down 3 different headlines for the same idea and pin them all. Yep, you heard me right. I said pin them all. You'll see which one actually gets the clicks, and it's often not the one that you think will get the clicks. Believe me, I've tried this. So Pinterest rewards fresh variations, right? So this is a totally SEO friendly thing to do. There's no issue. What I would recommend though is if you've got one pin, 3 headlines, pin them on separate days, pin them to different relevant boards. Okay? Don't pin them all to the same board on the same day, and change up the text, the headline on it. Okay? And just before you go test those headlines, let's do this week's poll, because here's what I really want to know. It's going to help me to help you if I know this information. What do you struggle with most when it comes to writing pin headlines? What do you struggle with most when it comes to writing pin headlines? Is it coming up with ideas, making them stand out, writing them short enough, right? Writing short enough headlines, or right for the pins that you're creating, testing what works, or is it kind of like all of the above? Right now, consider that again. This will be below on Spotify. You can cast your vote here on Spotify, or you can DM me your answer at Body Mind Mood Fit or the Simple Site Lab on Instagram. I really do truly want to see your real talk. Remember to submit questions so I can feature you and feature your questions on the show. I would love to do that, keeping it real here. Okay, so cast your vote here on Spotify, or DM me Body Mind Mood Fit or the Simple Site Lab on Instagram. Now let's wrap this up so that you can get all those amazing clicks rolling in. Right? So that's a wrap for episode 4. No more high impressions, 0 clicks for you. Okay, and I want to just go over what we covered. Remember that impressions don't pay the bills, clicks do. You want people to go and click, go to your website, go do something. Boring headlines or messy design, if there's no call to action, those are total click killers. Like 100%. Use the 3-second pin test. It helps you spot weak pins before you post, right? 3 seconds is all you need. And remember that inspiration is great, but give people an irresistible, like literally irresistible reason to click now. Okay? It's great if they save it, but you want them to click. Now, I have a little bit of homework, okay? for you. I would love it if you would vote in the poll or DM me your answer at Body Mind Mood Fit and at the Simple Sight Lab on Instagram. Join the Pinterest business community. If you're not on it, but you're a Pinterest business owner and you want to, get involved, please join the PBC or Pinterest business community and tag me when you do. Now you can tag me at Body Mind Mood, okay? And I would love to jump into a conversation with you and get some stuff going. Follow me here on Spotify so that you never miss an episode. We've got some great episodes coming. And remember, until next time, please keep pinning with purpose, planning with intention, and I will see you next Thursday on the Pin and Plan podcast. Have a great week. Bye for now.